Have you ever looked closely at a Chinese knot? That delicate web of silk thread, woven so perfectly, so deliberately, that it seems to breathe with meaning. Perhaps you've seen one hanging on a wall during Chinese New Year, dangling from a handbag or tucked beneath glass in a museum. But what if I told you that these knots are more than decoration? That within their looping curves and endless twists lies a secret language, a silent, ancient code passed down through generations? Today, we unravel the story behind Chinese knots, their history, their beauty, and the quiet power they hold. To understand Chinese knots, we must first journey back thousands of years. Long before paper was invented, before even the brush and ink of Chinese calligraphy, people found ways to record, to express, and to communicate. One of the earliest forms? Knots. In Neolithic China, early communities tied ropes into simple knots, not only for practical use like fishing, hunting, or fastening clothing, but also to record numbers, agreements, and even events. It may sound simple, but in a world without writing, a knot could mean a promise. A knot could mean a memory. A knot could hold meaning as tightly as it held thread. By the Zhou dynasty, more than 3,000 years ago, knots had taken on ceremonial and symbolic purposes. They adorned royal garments and religious tools, woven into rituals, blessings, and rites of passage. Over time, knotting evolved from practicality to art, and from art to profound symbolism. Chinese knots are more than beautiful. They're ideograms in silk. Each knot is symmetrical, crafted from a single unbroken thread. That's not a coincidence. The continuous thread represents longevity, a life or relationship that flows on without end. This is why you'll often find knots on wedding dresses, gifts for newborns, or hung above doorways during the Lunar New Year. They're not just ornaments, they're well wishes made tangible. Take the double coin knot, for example. It mimics the shape of two ancient Chinese coins, looped together. In this form, it becomes a symbol of wealth and prosperity. When gifted, it wishes the receiver financial luck, success in business, and abundance in life. Or consider the button knot, small and round, used in traditional garments. Beyond fastening clothing, it quietly symbolizes firmness and unity, suggesting that those bound by love or duty will hold fast, like the knot itself. Some knots resemble the Chinese character for luck, while others imitate lotus flowers, butterflies, or dragons, each with its own layered meanings. Every loop, every twist is intentional. The art of knotting is, in many ways, a visual prayer. Knots come alive during Chinese festivals. During Lunar New Year, bright red knots hang from walls, lanterns, and rearview mirrors. Red, in Chinese culture, is the color of happiness, good fortune, and protection. The knots serve as talismans, warding off misfortune and inviting joy into the home. Their shapes might vary, from auspicious symbols like the endless knot to stylized fish or coins, but their message is always clear. May luck stay. May trouble leave. At weddings, knots often appear in the form of the double happiness knot, inspired by the character. Two happinesses side by side. It's the ultimate blessing for a couple. Shared joy, balanced hearts, and a union that, like the knot, cannot be undone. In Taoist and Buddhist traditions, knots carry spiritual symbolism. The mystic knot, with its interwoven loops, is known to represent infinity, eternal love, infinite wisdom, and the cycle of life and death. It's frequently worn as an amulet, believed to attract harmony and protect the wearer from misfortune. In every ritual, knotting isn't just about aesthetics. It's a sacred act. To tie a knot is to bind a blessing into form. Beyond festivals, Chinese knots have long played a quiet role in daily life. During the Han and Tang dynasties, they adorned mirrors, belts, and fans. They served as bookmarks, zipper pulls, even military rank indicators. But beyond their function, knots were silent communicators. A young girl might wear a butterfly knot, signaling her youth, beauty, or romantic longing. A scholar might carry a brush holder adorned with cloud-shaped knots, evoking wisdom and spiritual elevation. A soldier's sword might be bound with a strong square knot, not just for grip, but to symbolize unbreakable loyalty. In this way, Chinese knots became a wearable language of virtue and emotion. Gentleness, integrity, resilience, and grace, all conveyed without a single word. The creation of Chinese knots is itself a poetic process. Using a single silk cord, artisans must fold, twist, loop, and tighten, sometimes creating hundreds of symmetrical passes before the knot reaches completion. One mistake, one wrong tension, and the entire piece can collapse. Precision is vital. Patience even more so. There are over a dozen basic knots and countless combinations. Pan Chong knot, with its endless form. Cloverleaf knot, simple yet lucky. Cross knot, strong and balanced. Dragonfly knot, representing beauty and transformation. Each design is unique, yet all share three key traits: symmetry, continuity, and balance, principles deeply rooted in Confucian, Taoist, and Buddhist thought. Even the structure of a knot reflects yin and yang, the harmony of opposites, the balance of forces. The left mirrors the right. The past folds into the future. To master knotting is to meditate on beauty, on harmony, on life itself. In the modern age, hand knotting faces challenges. Mass production, digital culture, and fading traditions have endangered this delicate art. Yet in recent years, there's been a revival. Artisans across China are bringing Chinese knots into the present, combining them with jewelry, fashion, and modern home decor. Some use metallic threads, others create knot-inspired sculptures or digital designs. In 2008, Chinese knotting was officially listed as a national intangible cultural heritage. And in schools and museums across China, children are once again learning the ancient art, knot by knot, loop by loop. To learn knotting today is to join a lineage that stretches across millennia, a thread that connects past to present and meaning to material. So what is the secret meaning behind Chinese knots? It's not just in their form, it's in their message. A knot, at its core, is about connection. It binds, it holds, it remembers. Chinese knots remind us that life is not a straight line. It twists, it turns, it circles back on itself. But within that complexity, there is beauty. Within the loops, there is purpose. And through it all, the thread holds strong. They are more than crafts. They are metaphors for unity, for memory, for love that endures, for the delicate art of holding on to our culture, our stories, and one another. So the next time you see a Chinese knot, don't just admire its elegance. Listen, feel. There's a silent message woven into every thread. It says, you are connected, you are remembered, you are blessed. And that, perhaps, is the most beautiful knot of all.